So a very good Wednesday to everyone. My name is Ngaha from PEFC Southeast Asia. Welcome to PEFC webinar. So to start with, I'd like to introduce Miss Ari in the right corner. She a typical rubber smallholder that you're gonna meet later during the webinar. And we always keep her in mind as we develop the PEFC supporting sustainable rubber. And they are very critical for the sector, and especially we need to bringing them along the sustainability journey. So as she's signing on some of housekeeping of the today webinar. So to enable the interpretation, please choose the icon in the bar below and choose the language that you are most comfortable with. We have 4 different languages. We welcome all the questions from you at any time during the webinar. So please drop them in the Q&A section. And feel free to watch out for and react to the information in the chat box as we are moving along. And at the end of each speaker presentation, we're gonna launch the post question. So thank you very much for the active participation. And lastly, the webinar is recorded and it is live streaming on Facebook now. So please see the link in the chat and share it. Out of the program for today, we're gonna walk you through 4 sections. First, we will welcome Ben Gunnerberg, PEFC COO, for a welcome note. And after that, we will welcome Hans Iver and Jan Gom from Junelin and Hans and Weber Share for their presentation. We will be moving along with the panelist discussion. And finally, Richard Leite gonna brief you some key activity that each of you can do for a sustainable rubber sector. So without further ado, please welcome Ben Gunnerberg. The floor is yours, Ben.
Thank you, Nya. Welcome to our 3rd seminar on sustainable rubber, how PEFC connects new supply with growing demand. Natural rubber is an important sector worth $300 billion US, providing an essential material in the production of more than 40,000 types of products. In addition, rubber wood is also the world's most traded tropical hardwood. The whole supply chain involves some 40 million people and is the main source of livelihood for millions of smallholders who are responsible for 85% of the global natural rubber production. The good news is that the demand for rubber-based products is on the increase as the world rebounds from COVID. In addition, sustainably managed rubber plantations are a key to decarbonization through the avoidance of deforestation, improved sustainable forest management, and the substitution of fossil fuel-based rubber. This is significantly important for companies' net zero commitments, as nature-based solutions and improved forest management are clearly the way forward to achieve their carbon neutral commitments. Unfortunately, rubber sustainability is not receiving as much attention as other land-based commodities, as was amplified in its omission from the recently issued EU regulation on deforestation-free products. Nevertheless, emerging multi-stakeholder platforms such as the GPSNR have been developed to improve the reputation of the rubber sourcing industry by respecting human rights, preventing land grabbing, protecting biodiversity and water resources, improving yields, and increasing supply chain traceability. It is clear that smallholders need more support as the planted area is declining. Indeed, the total rubber area in the Asia-Pacific region is expected to shrink by over 6% in this decade alone. And 2020 was the year of the lowest planting in the last 3 decades. And the IRSG report from July attributes smallholders' decision on delaying replanting mainly due to the lack of capital. And so we need smallholder support programs encouraging investments in replanting. Feasible and practical tools for rubber sustainability thus play a crucial role, and this is where PEFC can contribute. PEFC's Supporting Sustainable Rubber initiative was launched in July, where we highlighted the importance of the sector to society, as well as how rubber stakeholders use certification as a tool. Our second webinar in September showed how early adopters are pioneering partnerships with PEFC to implement PEFC certification. And a pilot project of smallholders in Thailand is on track to be certified in the first quarter of next year. In addition, the huge efforts of the Vietnam Rubber Group and its company members has resulted in 60,000 hectares of PEFC certification. And PEFC controlled sourced rubber wood produced in Malaysia for the EU market also contributes to the efforts to eliminate illegal and controversial sources from the supply chain. So as a new supply of sustainable rubber comes online, PEFC is ready to act as a market connector to help bring together the producers of this essential raw material with the many manufacturers looking to buy it. This is the aim of this seminar, and we have two honored guest speakers today who will share their experiences in this approach. I now hand over to Nya to introduce today's speakers. Thank you. Nya, over to you.
Thank you very much, Ben, for the powerful speech. Now I would like to invite Hans Ever, Sustainability Manager at Weber & Share, a 170 years old trading company from Germany. Welcome you, Hans.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nya, and thank you very much for the opportunity to tell something about our efforts to get more sustainable natural rubber into the market in Europe, especially. And I'm pretty honored that we have the opportunity. And so I would like to tell you a little bit about what we do. Next, please. Yes, talking about natural rubber and the growing, everybody of the audience here knows very well it's growing in tropical countries. And looking at the sustainably produced natural rubber in 2019, we were talking about maybe less than 10,000 tons, which were under a so-called sustainability label. And we are producing 13 million tons per year or even more. It is still growing. And in Europe, there's a growing demand for sustainable rubber. And so we are actually motivated and we are looking forward to get a little bit more possibilities for our customers to offer. Next, please. Yes, a few short facts about Hevea brasiliensis. This is the scientific name of this product, of this plant, which was originally growing in the Amazon forest. It is mainly produced in Southeast Asia and West Africa, and the biggest countries are Thailand and Indonesia as the largest producers. And for us, Weber & Share, Vietnam is one of the most important sources, and we are importing a lot of Vietnamese natural rubber. It's around 13 million tons per annum, I told you already. The tappers have a hard life, the smallholders that we are talking about, because they are going out into the forest every morning and still dark, and they are scratching the trees, and then they are returning in the afternoon to harvest what they did. And one single tree may produce maybe half a cup per day only of so-called field latex. And even after you have this field latex, it's only 33 kilo, maybe 1/3 of the centrifuged latex later on that they are being paid for. So it is a very tough life for these people. Next, please. Yes, Weber & Share, we are in the trade since 1844. We are a traditional trading house in Hamburg in northern Germany. And we are trading all kinds of natural and also synthetic rubber. And we are trading this worldwide, but our main market is actually Europe, especially Central Europe, like Germany. We have many valuable customers. You know that Germany is strong in automotive industry and adhesive industries and so on. And this is our main market. So we are driving also our own warehouse. We are offering special services to all our customers. We are actually doing anything which is helpful for the needs of our customers. And so for us, it was also clear that we have to improve our efforts in regards of sustainability. Next, please. Yes, we are committed to sustainability. We started already very early with this. Our warehouses are driven by solar energy. For instance, our forklifts are driven by solar energy. Our office is paperless and 100% eco-friendly power supply. We are using an LNG truck for the transports from the seaports to our warehouses to reduce our carbon footprint. Some of you might know the internet platform EcoVadis, where we have the gold ranking since 2021 now. And of course, we are also members of several sustainability initiatives. Ben just mentioned the GPSNR, and we are one of the early members of this. If you like to know more about this, you may check out the Weber & Share website. Next, please. Yes, why did we choose to be certified under PEFC certification scheme? That is very easy. We are always looking forward, and we are receiving many requests from our customers because the OEMs are starting now to put pressure also on our customers, onto the compounders and all the producers of little parts for the automotive industry, for instance. And of course, we are living in a society in the very moment where sustainability is a big thing, and everybody is discussing this. And so, of course, we were looking what kind of possibilities do we have to achieve sustainable supply chains. And this was the reason to being certified under chain of custody standard of PEFC, because this allows the trade and the storage of PEFC certified rubber for us. And we can use the logo just also to communicate it. And so we are building up sustainable supply chains now with our suppliers and with our customers. So we are tailor-making lighthouse projects, if we want to say so, to produce something like an extreme, very well transparent and sustainable supply chain of natural rubber. And I must thank PEFC Asia, especially Richard and Na, for the help promoting this. It is very nice working with you guys. Thank you. Next, please. Yeah. So we are certified under PEFC label now. And one of our biggest and most important partners in the natural rubber trade is Vietnam, especially the Vietnam Rubber Group, which is the roof, or under their roof, there are many of our preferred producers and suppliers. And when Vietnam Rubber Group became certified under the Vietnam Forest Certification Scheme, and later on that VFCS was accepted and endorsed by PEFC in October 2020, we recognized that there was, since this year, 2021, bigger quantities of sustainable natural rubber available. Not only latex, but dry rubber, which is most important for our customers, because the majority of our customers is using dry rubber. Next, please. So the transparent supply chain was very important to receive the notification by VRG that 12 VRG plantations from 2021 on certified under forest management certificate, and 36 processing plants are being certified under chain of custody scheme. That allows us now that to talk about 61,000 tons in total, and next year it's even more, it's 85,000 tons in total of dry rubber. You may say that this is still just a drop in the ocean compared to the big quantities that are being traded worldwide, but please don't forget that almost 80 to 85% is going into the tire industry of the whole production, and only 1/4 or something is going into, or less, is going into the technical industry. And our customers here in Germany are reflecting on this. So those of you who know a little bit about qualities of rubber and all these words, the SVR stands for Vietnamese rubber, 3L, CV50 and CV60, and also 10ers and 20. These are desired qualities, especially the latex grades, the 3L and the CVs. And that means that we have the ability now to offer something to our customers under sustainability label. Next, please. So yes, I'm already finished with my talk. If there's some more, you might drop some questions and so on. I'm thanking you for the attention. I think I kept my time of 10 minutes exactly. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Hans, for the very insightful presentation and keep it on time. It is inspiring to know that PEFC is part of the game changer and bringing the add value to the business and environment at the same time. So we are really looking forward to having more certified material available to meet the industry demand. And at the same time, we also need to work harder so that more manufacturer and brand owner will be ready for more sustainable sourcing material. Now, I'd like to launch a poll related to Hans' presentation. Mr. A, please help me with that. So the question is, as a trader and rubber processing company, is it necessary to be PEFC COC certified to pass its certification claim? Please take 20 seconds to submit the response. Wow, fantastic. We have many people that submit the answer. Thank you very much. And yes, over 90% of our submission are correct. That's awesome. So this question is not too technical for you. But just to highlight again that PEFC chain of custody apply the tracking principle. So to carry out the claim throughout the supply chain, all actors need to be certified. Okay, so thanks, Han. And now let's move to the second presentation of today by Jan van Roppard. Jan is the General Manager of Wood Division at Unilin, a Belgium-based company. Welcome, Jan, and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Nya, also for inviting us in order to bring our story to a larger public. And good morning, or for most of you, good afternoon. So my name is Jens van Rompuy, indeed. I will present a little bit what we are planning to do for Unilin as a whole, and what this exactly means for our wood division. So if you move on to the next slide, please. So first of all, who are we? So Unilin is a part of Mohawk Industries since 2005. So Mohawk Industries is actually the world's largest flooring company, and they have a wide selection of all kinds of products, from hard until soft surface products. We are a public listed company, so also there, of course, we are doing everything what we can in order to also make sure that in terms of image, we are doing the right thing. I will not bore you with going through all the financial details, but what is more important is what type of products we are making. So you can see, for example, in Mohawk, we are not only making, for example, ceramics, we are also making laminates, all these type of things, hardwood flooring. And also with Unilin, we have a very wide range of products. So we have laminate, we have parquet, for which I'm responsible. We have also vinyl, sheet vinyl, hard vinyl. We have carpet tiles, chipboards, and MDF. For example, also here, the PEFC certification is extremely important. We are doing many hundred thousands of cubics where also the PEFC certification is actually claimed for all the products that we are selling. So we have decorative panels and also insulation boards and roof panels. So we actually have, if you would divide it, 3 big groups. You have the flooring, you have the chipboards and MDF, and you have actually insulation. Also here we have many different brands. We have Unilin, Godfrey Hirst, and IBC. So you see that the parquet is a part of Unilin, which is a part of Mohawk, which makes us a very small fish in a big pond. But everybody is doing what they can, of course, to contribute to the ambitious goals. Next, please. So for us, very important is that as we are a very big company, for us, it's extremely important that we set a trend, that we show the good example. The push needs to come from somewhere. We saw a survey where people show that who will make the change for sustainability. And it was not the government that was on the first spot, but they were saying CEOs. And I completely agree with that. I think it needs to come from a business perspective. If the big companies push for it, then eventually everybody will follow, because it will be a mandatory requisite in order to play in the market. So that's why we have also launched a One Home project. So you can see here, climate smart, circular at heart. We are actually focusing on a lot of different pillars, well-being, circularity, and also climate, so emissions more. So the goal is to be leading in sustainability. We don't want to be a follower, we want to set the example, and we want to be the market leader regarding this. And of course, circularity and sustainable forest management, which is exactly the reason I'm here, are key in order to achieve that. Of course, we are also focusing on other things. Like I said before, climate, we are looking to install solar panels in our factory in Malaysia. So we are doing, of course, also on other fronts, some things to help and achieve these ambitious goals. You can see the goals on the right. So by 2025, we would like to have the parquet cradle to cradle certified certification. And by 2027, we would like to only sell certified materials. So now we are focusing on PEFC. So all our products are PEFC. We only sell PEFC certified products. So the certification is of course used to show compliance. And to convince our stakeholders that we are doing the right thing. And it's also a push towards our suppliers. As I said before, we are setting the trend. If we say this is what we believe in, and a lot of big companies start doing the same, you can actually make a change. And then, of course, rubber wood suits perfectly within the One Home vision. We use it for our high-value products. So we are a premium player in the parquet division. We have a factory in Malaysia, and we are mostly focusing on Asia and Australia. And you can see that we have local wood sources very close to the production location. So the rubber wood is very close to where we are producing. We have a very short supply chain, but the only thing that is missing is a certification. We are not fully certified. We are controlling it, but we are not certified. Next, please. So you can see here again, we are focusing on sustainability in a lot of different aspects. We aim towards 100% PEFC labeled wooden floors by 2027. This is our vision that we see before us. And you can see that we also have a lot of different certifications. So you have that PEFC, but you also see, for example, the A+, which is very important in terms of emissions. There are too many to name it. It's also sometimes a little bit, you have so many labels, which makes it difficult to know which one you should focus on and which one you should claim. We have a lot more than that. We put here our most important ones. A very important keynote, which I put at the end of the slide, is the European and the Scandinavian market are pushing towards certified and environmentally friendly solutions. This is what we are seeing already today, which is actually a good thing. It starts also with the customer who sees the value of actually going for that sustainability story. So that means that not complying with those requirements will eventually exclude us from supplying the goods. Next, please. A small introduction on what we are actually selling. So you can see here on the left all our different type of products. So what you can see is that we have a wide range of products, 1-strip, 3-strip, multi-strip, and so forth. We have a variety of widths and lengths. And maybe also very important, we have now 3 different core layers. We have HDF, as I said before, this is produced by our own production. It's also PEFC certified. So there we have no issue whatsoever, but we also have sprues and EVA. And we like the EVA option more because, as I said before, from a sustainability point of view, it makes sense. We have clickable floors with Uniclick multi-fit technology, also Uniclick. We have different type of finishes, different type of special surface effects. And then you can see we have an EVA core, which we use for currently about 600,000 square meters, or a total of 1 million in the future. Next slide, please. So here, that is actually the point that we are trying to make, and which brings me to my last slide of the presentation, is that currently we are using for our top tier products, we are using or rubber wood or spruce layer for our 3-layer engineered wood flooring. As you can see, we have about 2,000 cubics that we consume on a monthly basis, whereby our spruce is completely PEFC certified and our rubber wood is PEFC controlled. And what you see is that the spruce, which is PEFC certified, is actually of course, it comes from Europe, and thereby our sustainability doesn't make any sense. The thing is that you transport it all the way to Europe. We would rather have a local species for our core layer. But of course, the only thing stopping us from moving completely to rubber wood is the fact that it's controlled. And controlled in one way is good because we do the audit ourselves and we are confident, but it doesn't account for our products. And at the end of the day, the customer is also looking at a checklist. Is it PEFC? Can we claim PEFC or not? So that's why it's so extremely important for us to have PEFC controlled rubber woods. But however, what we are now facing today is that we are trying to find a platform to convince a lot of different parties to make it PEFC controlled. We as Unilin are ready. We are completely prepared to go for a completely PEFC certified rubber wood. And we are also prepared to put in additional resources and of course also money. So that means that we are willing to pay a higher price in order to make sure that it's certified, because then at least we are how to say, we are matching or aligning with our complete vision, and also we are willing to put in extra resources to make sure that we can help, for example, Malaysia to make their forestries PEFC certified. So that's a little bit my introduction. I don't know whether there are any questions for me.
Thank you very much, Jans, for the presentation. We're gonna move to the panel question later. So yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, sure, no problem. So thank you very much for the sharing. It's absolutely great to see, to learn that like rubber would have amazing quality to make so many beautiful products. And Unilin is ambitious to set the trend and make the product contribute to a more environmental friendly living condition. There are many audience today are the rubber plantation owner, and I hope that the responsible sourcing goal of 100% PEFC certified in the next 6 years is heard very well. So now we're going to open the poll. And again, please take 20 seconds to submit the question. Mr. A, would you like to launch the poll, please? Great. So our question today is to help Unilin achieve their 100% certified material target. How much certified sawn timber rubber wood will Unilin need per year? So we have 3 different choices. Please make your guess. Okay, Mr. A, could we see the answer, please? Okay, great. We have 75 respondents are correct, and you make really good guess. So in order to help Unilin achieve their goal, they will need 24,000 cubic meter per year of the sawn timber rubber wood, and it would equivalent 1,000 hectare of rubber plantation should be harvested per year. So thank you everyone for the response. Now I would like to invite Jans and Hans again back to the panelist discussion. Panelist discussion, and yeah, so we have some questions that are in the Q&A and as well as in the chat. Some of them have been answered by Richard and Ben. Thank you very much for that. I will pick up some more in the chat section as well. And let's start the first question with Hans, please. As you mentioned earlier that there are only 10,000 tons out of 13 million ton natural rubber produced annually have sustainability label. So in the opinions, what the industry actors should do more to accelerate the amount of material that are produced and purchased responsibly?
Yes, actually, it was 10,000 tons and we are now on a bigger level. And I always say the ball is with the customers now. There's a possibility to source sustainable natural rubber now, and we can offer this. And it is just as Jens from Unilin already pointed out, it is necessary that there is a demand being created, and this will reflect on the market immediately, of course. And yes, so I think we are happy that it is at least now 85,000 tons from next year on, and we hope to increase these figures year by year, just because it is there and there's the possibility to purchase.
Okay, great. Thanks, Hans. So, Jans, you said that Unilin have started PEFC COC certification 16 years ago, to be exact. So can you please explain a little bit more about the benefit of being PEFC COC certified, and how did the company use the control source for the production?
So indeed, we actually went with the PEFC certification about 15 years ago. And during that time, it was again on multiple fronts, because as I said before, it was also the HDF. And there it was actually triggered by the fact that we saw already in the market that the label itself was becoming more popular. That in order to sell your product, it was kind of a checklist, especially for the big players, that they are only sourcing in products with such a label, which of course is a good thing. And then we started trying to find some ways in order to also be certified. So we ended up with the PEFC certification on multiple locations. And then for us specifically, we have, of course, the sources which come from the PEFC certified, and there, of course, it's quite easy. But then, yeah, it limits you very much in your sourcing story. And that is why we also started with the controlled source. And on itself, as I said before, the controlled source will help you in that way that you already make the way in order to make it certified in the future, because you know that you can apply to all the rules, because we are doing an audit from time to time. We have to make sure that we follow all the rules. And then the next step in order to be completely certified is smaller than if you would start from scratch. So it makes you use the material, it makes you clear the way for the future. And the only disadvantage is currently that because it's not certified, you cannot actually take it up in your credits. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that's excellent. Thank you very much. So come back with Hans, please. So rubber can be a complex product when it comes to the general understanding of the public. So, and even only few could understand the difference between certified sustainable natural rubber and the rubber that is not certified. So the question is, how does the company communicate the values of certification to the customer?
Well, it's very clear that we are looking for transparency, and look into Germany, because we have a fresh law which comes into power next year. That means that bigger companies, especially bigger companies, are being forced now to make their whole supply chain more transparent. And of course, a sustainability label offers you the possibility to do exactly this, make it more transparent. And we are just communicating this. We are saying, well, perfectly speaking, if you want to be one of the leaders in the market, you have to be one of the first people. You have to be proactive, as we say, and not following. There will be followers 10 years later, probably. And I'm very convinced that the market will change a lot. But for instance, the quantities that I explained to you earlier, is they are enough now to already start with a good part of the business to become more sustainable. And it's just we are open to it. If anybody has any question, we are open to reply to this. And this is my job, and I want to communicate this because I myself think that this is a good thing to have a sustainability label in this market, which is a strong market, a big, huge market. And compared to other markets like the wood or the timber, there's not much sustainability labels available in the moment.
Thank you, Hans. Let me stay with you for another question. That the crepe pail already available from PEFC certified source? Does the company offer the product?
Pardon me. What kind of product?
Crepe.
Crepe. Thick crepe, pale crepe, and so on. It is not under PEFC label, but others. So if there's some interest, please contact me. No problem. But yes, crepe is a very special quality of natural rubber. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. We have the contact of Hans. Maybe Hans, you could drop the contact in the chat, and everyone can contact you. Let's come back with Jans. So so we understand the company target of achieving 100% PEFC by 2027. Could you please tell us a little bit more about what is the Unilin plan or strategy in order to achieve this goal, and any message you would like to tell our audience who are rubber plantation owner? Thank you.
Yeah, for us, we concentrate first on the material which has the highest contribution, which means that from if you look at our parquet, our core layer is actually the highest percentage, 70 to 80% of our total product from time to time. So that means that, of course, if you can make this certified, it will help you. It will help you mostly forward in that case. So that's why we are focusing first on our core layer, and there indeed we have the option to go to spruce. But we believe that the story of rubber wood is such a beautiful story, not only because it's close to our location, because you know as well, we make it for rubber, and it's a side product where we can use the total product for our parquet floor. So that's why we are focusing on rubber wood, and as Hans also mentioned before, is that the whole market will grow towards this direction. And we also truly believe at the end, in 10 to 15 years from now, if you're not on that boat, then you're not playing in the market anymore, because you will have to be completely certified. And what we are planning to do here is, of course, we are looking for partners where we can start up this program. We are willing to invest in order to make it happen. And we are also willing to put in additional resources. And of course, what is interesting is for that the plantations itself is that this certification itself should be a win-win model. I think that it's a sustainability story, something that we can achieve, that we are trying to achieve. And for them, it's of course, you have a more premium product which you can sell, which you can immediately reflect in your pricing. So that's a little bit what we are looking for and what we are trying to find out. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, that is very clear. Thank you very much. And because many questions appear here related to higher price of the certified product, and it's great that you already answered that question. Hans, would you like to say anything about that as well?
Yes, please. Of course. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and thank you very much to all these people that are asking exactly this question, which is well understood. And actually, to be frank, we of course see that we have to pay a premium on this, because it is, on one point, it's also an added value, as we always say, because it makes a difference. And of course, there's nothing for free in this world, and it should not be for free, because the benefits should go to the core of the whole business, and this is the farmers and the smallholders, because they need it most urgently, the money. And of course we have to pay a premium, no doubt.
Excellent, thank you very much. Even we have a few more questions, however the time doesn't permit us to go longer with the panel discussion. For any question that we didn't have chance to answer, we're going to follow up with you through the email. And thank you very much, Hans and Jans, for the excellent contribution and response for the question. So now I would like to invite Richard Leahy, PEFC Southeast Asia Manager, who's going to discuss a little bit more on the role of each actor and how PEFC can help you to achieve a sustainable rubber sector. Please welcome Richard.
Thank you, Nya, and greetings everyone. Some people for the third time. We're as a voluntary market-based certification system, we are now ready to continue this conversation about developing partnerships for sustainable rubber at the market side. And I will go through how we work in the supply chain. And traditionally, certification either provides PEFC Sustainable Forest Management certification, so that would be at the rubber plantation, and that ensures a suite of sustainability elements are audited. And then the second type of certification we offer is a chain of custody, which is used through the supply chain. This is a rubber supply chain where each actor has chain of custody, so they can maintain the segregation of certified or controlled source rubber from other, and then deliver it to the end user or the retailer. So the chain of custody also has an additional benefit than just traceability and the third-party verification of your management system, but the due diligence for controlled sources. And we had a question about what's the difference between PEFC certified and controlled sources, and we see that Unilin is using controlled sources to mix with certified product. So there's it's a intermediary step that is done through the chain of custody. And if you would like to know more about these technical parts, we have more than 50 members globally. For example, PEFC Germany. If you would like to contact him, please see this list for our national governing bodies. We have a decentralized approach of PEFC, and we welcome for you to approach our national governing bodies. So now let's look about what can we do to link this demand with new supply. And first, we need to start with the production, and we talked about the importance of smallholders. And this is Ari, our avatar, and a real person who is a traditional farmer of rubber with 3 hectares. And it is what can they do to be able to start the sustainability in the supply chain. And this can be done through getting certified with the SFM standard, or making information available to be able to meet buyers like Unilin's controlled source due diligence system. And what can PEFC do? So each one of these slides is how do we collaborate. PEFC, with our bottom-up approach, we have standards for people like Ari in Thai language with Thai capacity available to be able to make it practical for them to implement. And we have projects in Thailand, in Vietnam, Malaysia, where we are developing feasible group certification processes. This is one of the questions we've had. It is important for us to work from the bottom up, and this is also reflected in the policies that companies may write. So we are continuing doing ongoing training. Moving to the next actor, once it's come from a plantation that is certified or that's met the due diligence system requirements, processors or traders like Weber and Schrader may use PEFC chain of custody certification to procure and use sustainable materials. We had a question about Indonesia. Is if you want to be able to put a claim on it, you actually have to work down your supply chain, and then you can use the PEFC claim logo to unlock markets and demonstrate sustainability. PEFC is here to connect with the buyers, producers. We have a database of rubber that is certified, and we also have synergies with others, with systems such as ISO that PEFC is based on, and other verification systems. We mentioned GPSNRs and their recent policies, or IRSGs and their SNRI. And so we are working closely to how to synergize and not reinvent the wheel. And also we are doing events like this to provide marketing. Moving to the consumer-facing element of the supply chain for brands and retailers, we can see the biggest thing you can do is develop a responsible procurement policy. And when we say responsible, we have to think of the smallholders and think of not reinventing the wheel. PEFC has been working for smallholders for 20 years, and ensuring that you have an inclusive procurement policy that can support you to address your reach your targets, so that your customers have confidence. And for brands and retailers that maybe don't have a connection to the other end of the supply chain, you can collaborate with PEFC and our members to be able to get that change that you want to be able to realize your policies. So we will continue to provide some education and help to tell your sustainability story as brand and retailers. So that's how we can work together along the supply chain. And now I would like to talk more generally about collaboration. And we want to raise the bar and help each other raise it. And we want to bring people along the journey. People like Ari, we must think of how do we do it. And this is going to be quite a lot of hard work, but through webinars like this and one-on-one meetings we've had with our pilot projects and sharing best practice, we can reach this bar. And PEFC is available to train your supply chain actors, and Unilin or Weber's supply chain actors may be here and asking, okay, how do we communicate what is PEFC to our customers? So we would like to showcase our PEFC Essentials as one of the tools that PEFC has available for you. So PEFC Essentials is a e-learning platform that takes about 1 hour, and the next slide will be able to show you a quick snapshot of this tool that we make available for certified entities and the stakeholders related. It's free of charge. We've activated it this year, and I would like to take 1 minute, 1.5 minutes actually, to give you a quick snapshot of PEFC Essentials so that you can follow up with us. So please stand by for a small video.
Yes, sure. Thanks a lot, Richard. I'm gonna show the video. I stop sharing and then I'm gonna share again. Wait a second. Sharing so, and then I stop.
So that's a snapshot of the PEFC Essentials, and you can see you get a certificate at the end. Maybe you were clever enough to capture it in 1.5 minutes, but we would encourage you to work with us to get a license of this, and we can then facilitate more of your supply chain actors to know what is PEFC and what can it mean for the customers, and assist them in telling that story. So that's one tool that we wanted to showcase as a way to engage this demand and to further it. And another example of how PEFC can collaborate with you is chain of custody training. And we have one coming in furniture. So PEFC has been working in the furniture sector for 20 years, in the rubber sector for less than 2 years, but we can learn from these different sectors. And the next slide will show us the training that is coming up on the 9th or 10th of 9th and 10th of December. We have our technical team and marketing team leading this. It is focused on furniture, but there's a lot of lessons learned for natural rubber. Like I mentioned, is the 20 years experience within PFC can be shared with this new sector. This is an example of how getting engaged with PFC can build your capacity. So please register here. I will be joining that, and I will be available for answering questions that are specific to the natural rubber if you do join. Otherwise, definitely for rubber, wood, and furniture makers, please do share this training so that you don't find chain of custody overwhelming, and you know how to access this product that PFC has available. So that's an example of how we can work with the supply chain, and we have generic tools and we have this bespoke training, and we have a lot of knowledge within our 55 members, our 330 million hectares of and 20,000 factories we can share. So that brings to a close on this part of the presentation, and the next slide is one that is to remind us that everybody in this webinar stands somewhere between the supply and demand. And so to ensure a sustainable future for your rubber, let's try to use PEFC certification to make these connections. And like we mentioned, that we have the plantations that can be certified, the factories that can be certified, the different claims that can be used. And even in rubber, maybe natural rubber, in a tire, natural rubber may only make up a quarter of the final product. If there is other products like rayon, other forest and tree-based products, we also have PEFC covering those other nature-based materials that can be used inside your products. And you can also support to the end users to know how to use them. So I would encourage you to follow us on the social media and sign up to our newsletter. We aim to have a webinar like this every quarter, and we're moving further down the supply chain. And hopefully next quarter we will have some brand and retailers that are using PEFC, and we will then move to looking at what are the emerging initiatives in the rubber sector and how PEFC supports the commitments of companies to the sustainability initiatives in rubber. And so I think with that, I would like to hand it back to Nya. Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to answering your questions and working with you.
Thank you very much, Richard, for the quick overview about the role of actor, what can they done, and some tools available from PEFC to support you. So I hope that through today's discussion have given you some insightful information, and to summary, we could see that a lot of work still need to be done to leverage the sustainability of the sector. And PEFC certification is used widely by the industry sector for various purposes, whether that it improve management system, demonstrating their sustainability commitment, or better market access. The two leading companies in the industry here for natural rubber and rubber wood are ready to support and having more the sustainable material rubber. So please feel free to contact them. The contact should be in the chat. We also see the PEFC controls for rubber wood is also used as a stepwise approach before moving to full certification. And Junelin is ready, bought and used the control rubber wood for many years. So in countries where the PEFC certification is not yet available, please think about to use the PEFC control source at this stage. And importantly, there high demand of PEFC certified natural rubber and rubber wood. So we are very happy to see the industry in moving toward a more responsible business direction. And I hope our rubber plantation owner joining today's webinar will be ready for that. So before closing today's webinar, I would like to really like to have the feedback and have a better idea of the roles in the supply chain, and whether you would like to have one-on-one meeting with us. So please spend 1 minute to complete the survey that's gonna pop up immediately when you leave the webinar. And we also have a question that what you want to tell us, or tell or what the message that you want to send to our speaker. Please let us know in the last question as well. So thank you everyone for the active participation. We do hope you find the webinar useful. The webinar is closing now, and thank you Hans, Jans, and everyone for the presentation and participation. So have a good rest of the day.